Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Lisa's Love and Light. Thank you all for being here, showing up. I hope you all have subscribed to the channel because if you subscribe, then you will know when I'm on because I cannot guarantee a time right now you know, at this moment. So, before we get into the topic of discussion today, I want to talk about time management. You know how I come on here and I tell you guys, everybody, all of us have flaws, and we all have something, right? Well, one of mine is time management. I'm getting a little bit better, but I need to do better. But because time management and me, I don't know, it just for some reason, but I am getting better with it. You know, a little bit better. I just need to just find some more ways to get things done in a timely manner. So that's one of my flaws that I have that I need to work on. So we all have something, like I always tell you guys. But don't be embarrassed about it. Just admit, you know, that you have them and do the best that you can to get through it. Find some ways to do better, and that's all we can do at this point. So, today we're going to talk about a different perspective to healing. Um, when I got up early this morning, because I get up and I have to go back to work in another half an hour, but I wanted to get on here today because this is going to be a busy day for me. But when I got up early this morning, I had to think about what I wanted to talk with you guys about today. Because every day is a different topic. It's all still related to healing, grief and healing. So, the topic of discussion is a different perspective to healing. And why I chose that, because sometimes we have to find creative ways to heal our pain, and that's not easy. And we're going to talk about that. And I'm going to use an illustration. Um, like, for example, many of you have gone to school, even if you haven't gone to college, even in high school. Pretty sure many of you at some point in time in school took algebra. Algebra. Sorry about that. Algebra. And what I know about algebra, even though it was one of my not so good subjects, um, what I've learned about that is that, no, say for example, okay, let me break it down like this. When you do an algebra, there's a formula that you work out in order to get the end result of the answer, the number. Let's say, for example, the end result, the answer is five, number five, right? There is, even though number five is the answer, when you are working out an algebra formula, there's two different ways to do that. And may even be three different ways to work out the formula. It doesn't matter how you work out that formula as long as the end result is number five. Let's say I decide to work out the formula different than what you work out. As long as we both end up with the end result, the number is five. It doesn't matter. And the reason why I'm using this illustration is because to help people use a different perspective, when you want to find ways to heal your grief. Sometimes everything is not black and white, there's always some gray in between. So sometimes we have to find creative ways to heal our pain related to grief. And sometimes we have to think outside the box in order to do that. Find some creative ways to do things. Um, I'm going to use another example. And one of the examples, my drawing is not that good, but anyway, I drew a pie, right? Let's say you have a cherry pie here, right? Um, it's a huge cherry pie, and it's enough for other people. naturally you're not going to eat the whole pie and say it's all yours. That's being selfish. So a piece of the pie is what everybody get. You may get a piece, I may get a piece, the other person over here may get a piece of the pie. That's the way I try to look at, or that's the way I want to look at relationships, whether it's a personal relationship or a fiduciary one. A fiduciary relationship is a business one. Um, in any event, in order to resolve, come to a resolution, there must be compromise. And this is why I'm using an illustration of the pie, because just because you may be this big person or CEO or whatever the case may be, you don't get the whole pie. And when you there are other people there at the table who need a piece of that pie as well. And I'm using that as an example because it's a way to describe how to compromise. You know, well, I'm eating a whole pie, nobody's getting it. Then nobody is being fulfilled except for that one person. So sometimes we have to think outside the box and we have to come to a compromise in order to see a resolution. And that goes to a lot of things in life, you know. When you're dealing with people, different personalities, different etc. You know, and I'm using these examples because this is some of the things I had to think about when I was thinking about some ways to heal my own grief, you know, due to the loss of loved ones. Because grief changes your life forever. Because those people, loved ones who meant so much to you, are no longer here. They're gone. And what they gave to you, you always cherish it and always keep their memory alive. But the loss is great and it can be overwhelming. So sometimes we have to find creative ways to think outside the box on how we can um, get ourselves out of that deep depression, get ourselves out of that pain and being stagnated. Because if we don't and we continue to just stay in that stagnation, then we can't grow, we can't develop, and we will always stay in that place of pain and depression. And like I always say on many other videos, that our loved ones never want us to be in pain forever and not embrace the life that is in front of us because they're no longer here, but their memory lives on because we keep it alive. And you know, anything that we do, because just looking at things from a different perspective instead of, you know, thinking everything is so black and white. There is some gray in between. And that means to think outside the box, you know, and some of the ways to do that is to really sit down and ask yourself, what is it going to take to get me out of this pain, this depression? We know time, you know, takes care of the pain and things like that. But if we're not doing productive things to help ourselves, our mental and physical health, then we could stay stagnated within that pain. And no one wants that because it can lead to depression, suicidal thoughts, etc. And I know, you know, the things I'm talking about here, uh, you know, I've been through it and I know what it feels like. And so, what I do myself today is that I listen to music. I may put together some puzzles. You know how you get a box of puzzle and you don't know what the picture is, and you keep playing with the pieces. And I may have music on as I'm doing that. Those things are therapeutic because it helps to take your mind off of the loss, because now you're stimulating your mind to do other things. Even small things like that will help you with your grief and healing. But out of everything, time itself will help. You know, time, you know, will get you through the pain. And as I say here all the time, is that I'm talking from my own personal experiences of loss. And, you know, I'm not a licensed so I don't have a license in social work or therapy or anything like that. I'm a person who's gone through so much pain, and everything I'm talking about here, I've gone through it myself, and I had to, with the help of God and with my help with my therapist and doing the work, I had to bring myself out of it. And it wasn't easy. And it's still not easy because I still have trigger moments. But it's important for me to keep finding ways to heal. And and also what I did, which is very important, is I didn't know anything about trigger moments of grief. And I've never had that before. And after losing my mother, and especially my dog and etc., I started to have those. And I thought really there was something wrong until I started to research and find out that a lot of other people have that when they're going through, extreme grief and pain due to loss. And especially during a shutdown when I lost 10 people. So it was, I had to find ways to deal with it. Now, what I do is look at things from a different perspective as I continue to heal and grow and expand. Instead of jumping to conclusions about certain things and etc., when people say certain things to me, I try to understand what they mean instead of jumping to conclusions. And also, I try to, as much as possible, is to minimize toxicity. We may not be able to get rid of it altogether, but minimize it. And one of the ways I do is that I remove people and situations that are ongoing toxicity from my life. And before I do that, I have conversations, etc. And if it continues, then I remove it because I'm on a path of healing. And that is so important to me to be on that path to heal and to help other people who also want to be on a path to healing because none of this stuff is easy. And and if someone don't want to heal, that's okay because we all have choices in life. But what I say is that no one's going to stop me from healing because they're not healing and they're not going to tell me I can't heal. And I had situations like that. So what I do, I'm not going to argue, not going to fight, and because that's going to lower my vibrations and make me in that low toxic situation. I don't do that. I just have the conversations, and if it continues, then I cut off, block, and delete because my mental and physical health means everything to me. And we have to take care of ourselves. And if we don't take care of our physical and mental health, then we can't take care of anyone else or anything else. We have to work on ourselves first. That's very important. We can't let our mental and physical health slide for anyone or for anything. It's important that we know ways and find ways to heal ourselves. And also, as you start to do that, you start to feel better. And as you start to feel better, you do better. And then you start to self love on yourself and look in the mirror and tell yourself you're worth it. It doesn't matter what other people think. That's their issues. It's not yours. I call that an OPP, other people's problems. Don't make other people's problems your problems. Focus on you and on what you need to do. And it's okay. It's not being selfish. You need to focus on you so you can grow. And if you love on you, it's good because you can give love to other people. How do you expect people to love you if you don't even love you? It doesn't flow. So, that's what I'm talking about here today, learning to, just like Humpty Dumpty that fell off the wall, that saying, and he had to put himself back together, many pieces. You put yourself back together slowly. You find music. Music is a healing source. It's so therapeutic. And when I talk to my therapist, at first I didn't want to do any of the work he gave me. I'm like, this is ridiculous. But in time, I realized it was very helpful to me because I'm a better person today because of it. And when you learn how to turn that pain into power and that power into purpose, then you're out there paying it forward to help other people so they can do the same thing. And if anyone else is not on that path and they don't like it, you know, redirect your focus to you because you matter and you're important. And that's the key factor here. And I would love if you guys continue to share these videos because, as I always say, there's someone somewhere who needs to hear these messages because they are in deep depression, maybe thinking about suicide. If I've already experienced losing someone about a year or so ago to suicide, and it broke my heart. People, it broke my heart because I had no idea that this person that was so low that he committed suicide. And I don't want to see that. I don't want to hear that because help is out there for everybody. And you don't have to let people know what you're doing, that you're out there talking to a therapist. It's nobody's business. You know, you doing what's right for you to help you. And there's no shame in any of this because we all have something, broken places within us that we need to heal and fix. You know, what I admire is to see people admitting that, yes, I have this issue. And they go and they want to get help for themselves, because when you do that you do better and you become a better person. You can share your testimonies and experience with other people. And I stay in prayer with God too. You know, the things I can't control or fix, I give it to God, and then I continue to stay focused. So that's the message today. Please share this with other people. Subscribe to the channel. Have them to come on here too, because this is a place of no judgment zone. This is to help people with information and to let them know how I help myself and how I continue to do so. You know, healing is the key factor here and talking about things. Also, one last thing before I go that I want to say, and when things hurt you and bother you, have those conversations about it, because resentment builds up and then you can't heal it. It staggers your healing, you know. And I talk about a lot of things, and as you continue to come on here, I'm going to be talking about other things, because I'm not going to give specifics like names, locations, or anything, but I'm going to talk about experiences that caused me a lot of pain, because as I talk about those things, it no longer have that chokehold on me. You know, what is in the light, what's in the dark come to light, and then it's rendered powerless, right, guys? And so it no longer has a hold on you. And that's the purpose here. That's it. And you know, this is a no judgment zone here. Everybody is welcome. And please continue to share these videos. That's the message for today. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm not sure of the time, but I will be back. Subscribe so that you'll get a notification to know that I'm here. Thank you for being here. This is Lisa, always encouraging you and shedding love and light. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye for now.